Very, very special episode today as we are beginning the kickoff to Music Mondays. We have started doing episodes on Mondays now because we want to get more into the music. This has been my intention for some time. And what a way to get further into it than have some lovely guests. That's part of the goal with all of this as well. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tom and Collin from the Influencers of Metal podcast. I am thrilled to have you, gentlemen. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Man, it's weird to hear an intro about yourself and not give one to a guest.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is.
It's a weird place.
It's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And then on the other side, they're like, did I do a good enough job? And it's like, are you joking? I'm fine being here. I'm fine being here.
Yeah.
You said our name. That's all that, like, we're thrilled. Someone said our name.
We did it. We did it, Collin.
We made it.
Well, all of us are definitely in a fabulous mood. We kiki a little bit before we hit record here for a moment, but maybe we should start off from the very beginning and how I became aware of you two at all. Honestly, you don't know this, but you have Lindsay Schoolcraft to thank for that because
really,
yes. Well, so I've been a Lindsay stan for years, obviously since she was in Cradle, really.
Okay,
and
yes. Valid.
She was kind enough to grace her, this podcast with her presence about a year ago now. So ever since then, I've just been kind of keeping up with her. And then I saw her on yours. And I was like,
yes,
okay, we have something here. This is interesting. These guys are funny. They seem like a lot of fun. Let's do it. And I wanted to talk to you about all of that. And I think she's been handling the Cradle of Filth drama really, really well too. Or at least she did when it was at when it was at its height. Anyway, we'll put it that way. But because she's been consistent the entire time. That's how I feel about this. Her messaging, and I'm paraphrasing here, has been, I respect the time I had. I love the time that I had with the band. Yes, some things happened, but I have no regrets. And she's been consistent of that pretty much every time she tells the story. What was your take on all that when you heard that? Because I know you're fans as well.
Collin, you want to go first in that one?
I'm not much of a Cradle fan, so
that's okay.
I'm more a Lindsay fan, but
right.
I will say the professionalism on Lindsay's behalf is second to none. She is probably one of the more professional musicians I have had the pleasure of talking to since I first met her back in 2020 to now. Like the professionalism is like second to none on her part. And it doesn't surprise me that she's being very professional about it and also being very careful with what she says.
Yes.
And I think that's good,
especially on the
part.
record. When she's on the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my side of this is like, I covered the story back when I used to do a show for Metal Robot called A Very Metal Week. It was the week that it happened. I talked about it. And when I had her on my other podcast, Metal Robot Podcast, a little bit later, it was brought up once on the record, I think, and we kind of just it didn't really go anywhere, but she was very professional about it. And when the camera on the podcast stopped recording, even when she gave more details off the record, she was still like very professional about it. She's like, it was an amazing experience, that kind of thing. And so the level of professionalism with her is amazing. And just knowing that she's also like such an awesome nerd on the spectrum is amazing. I feel that like for me with ADHD, even my girlfriend who has autism, like just knowing that there's when he was in the room with us too, like the tism was risen the entire time.
It was a very electrifying room to be in for those couple hours. We had the pleasure of talking to Lindsay about
hot. It was a heat wave that day when we were recording
it was.
Yeah.
It's all that energy. That's what it is. It's just all that energy at once.
That and Ontario summers.
I will say I was extremely surprised to see how many tattoos Lindsay did have.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I figured she had. I mean, I've seen a couple photos of like a couple that I think she has, but I guess I didn't pay attention to like how covered she was or wasn't. So that surprised you.
Yeah. Well, because she has like a couple back pieces, and I think Tom will admit too. Okay. It was like one of those things where it's like, huh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I figured she had a couple tattoos. I didn't know how many,
Yes.
and it never really crossed my brain. But then she came by the house by Metal Robot Studios here.
Yes, the headquarters up here in Canada.
Yeah, she was like, she was showing Colin, I believe she was showing, and my girlfriend as well.
Yes.
I was busy setting up the studio, but I saw a couple of them, and I was like, I didn't know half of these tattoos existed.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
I was
how
like, these
does
are really good art?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure she would select the best of the best. She knows art. She knows art. She knows what she's talking about. How does one prepare your home for Lindsay Schoolcraft? Explain that to me, because
Okay.
I would be racking my brain, like cleaning every inch, lighting candles. I don't know what.
Do you want me to take it or do you?
I think I can handle this one
Okay.
because Metal Robot Studios is my house, right? It's the house that I live in with my dad. And so my dad knows who Lindsay Schoolcraft is because I've known her since 2019. And so when I told him that she would be coming here, he was like, deep clean everything. That was deep clean everything. We are going to make this place look like a 5-star Michelin star bathroom. That's what it's going to look like. And
A hotel.
and it was that just for the outside of the studio. Once we get in here, because this is like my studio is my bedroom, so the big thing was space. This is a tiny room, and one of the challenges I had to take care of before you even arrived, Colin, was getting that bed there up against the wall so that we had room.
That was my idea, because we were really worried about how the four of us were all going to fit. I'm like, well, your bed's not on a bed frame. What if we just put it up against the wall? And it was like a light bulb went off, and it was like,
genius.
Colin, why didn't you say that sooner? I don't know.
Yeah, so me and the Pumpkin Queen, we got up early and we got it like get everything set up. She did her makeup, and I excavated the room, and and next thing you know, we were studio ready. And we had to make sure, of course, the mattress was not going to start falling downward on top of Lindsay. Which was fairly easy, but we got it sorted up, and it was all ready to go.
I brought breakfast.
You brought breakfast. You
helped. You helped.
I did the thing.
That might have been the biggest help because we didn't eat before that.
Oh gosh, I hate doing interviews on an empty stomach. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it because there's jitters, and it's just like I
get
need
that.
something.
I can completely relate to that too. Just even if I know it's like not a. How do I say this?
Consequential,
no,
it's not big time. Like
yes, it's not like a bigger interview. I'm still a little bit nervous, and it's I just need like that little distraction.
Yeah.
For me, it's like whenever I do interviews, it's always like a performance thing because I put on this whole show. I've got sound effects. I've got all these IDs ready to go, like these stingers, and so and it's all done on live basically. So I've got the soundboard here ready to go for it. And so for me, it's always performance thing, like don't hit the wrong button, keep it going. I have a teleprompter, so I've got my intro script ready, but just don't screw up your line, don't screw up your timing. And so once things get going, all of a sudden now it takes forever for those nerves to calm down and get back down to baseline.
Yeah, you are diving into my past traumas. Like manning a board on my own, alone. It is you and only you, and you are live because nobody wants anything taped. I mean, this was before that became, I don't know about in Canada, but at least for us in the US, it's been just a lot of syndicated programming when it comes to our terrestrial radio. And so I was kind of in the business when that was coming up. So it was like half of my time was spent recorded. The other half of my time really, truly was live. And they wanted you to be authentic.
It's the same up here, kind of. Like we have syndicated radio. Like I was a tech producer for a national program. And it's kind of the same thing where it's live. It is live, but we are sending stuff out to other stations all over the country. But there's also a lot of our shows were live, and then we had to take segments and curate them for best of content that would be airing on the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of making sure the place didn't blow up and making sure the board ran fine. I gotta tell you, listening to a couple episodes back, I was like, the sound effects and the use of them, it takes me back. I'm like, why are more people not doing this? I am here for the random kids yelling, at the most inappropriate moments. Like just little things like that. I'm like, God, I miss when we used to do this. Because everything is so cut and dry now that
I know, right?
you can anticipate everything. And those little sound effects were always just a fun surprise to me. So Tom, obviously, exactly. Exactly.
I can't believe.
No, I love that. I miss that. Again, it's a nostalgia thing for me. So for anybody listening that hasn't caught on yet, Tom obviously has some radio experience. And I want to know about the origin story when it comes to the podcast itself, Influencers of Metal. Tell me how it came together. How did you two meet? What's the tea?
So
spill it, girl.
Girl. This is a girly podcast, obviously.
Okay, so when I was entering my first year of college, Tom was a second year. We were both taking the same program, the radio program at a local college called Mohawk College. Shout out to Mohawk.
Yes.
Yay. So it was one day. It was actually funny. My dad told me about Tom because he had a radio show going on at our online station called Ignite, called the Metal Robot Radio Show. I was like, wait, a metal radio show? That's like so totally cool.
Oh my God, need to do it.
God released the inner 2000s high school tween, but
that's so fetch.
Oh my God, shut up.
Shut up.
Becky, you're such a whore. Stop
You're such
it.
a whore, Becky.
Oh my God. No,
we did just hit October 3rd. It's in the air. It's in the air.
I'm just happy it's not Wednesday because then I won't get in shit for not wearing pink.
Oh my God.
Okay, back to the story. So the one day they were giving out like free pizza in and around the radio station, and it was just like, okay. And then this short-haired, blonde, tall, Viking-looking guy, is like wearing a leather jacket, just trying to aura farm and shit. And then I'm like, "Hey, you want some pizza?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then we started talking, and then it was like the roots were kind of planted because then later on in the summer, I started my side project, which would become Thrasher's Paradise, and then like. We would talk here and there, and then like we started collabing in late 2019, and then from there on, it kind of just through metal, our friendship grew and bonded. Like
especially since especially since I know like I think it was Metal Robot Radio, your first introduction to me, but you did also find the YouTube channel.
Yes,
because I remember you specifically. One of the first things you said to me that you started talking about was, "Oh, dude, I saw your video about how Disturbed's evolution sucked." I'm like, "Yeah, that was me."
I think it sucked too. Oh my God.
Yeah, I made a video back in 2018 about like the track listing, how being such shit, and then so you were like, "Dude, I saw your video. Good stuff." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
and then you started up your YouTube channel later. We collabed.
Yeah, and then Then COVID hit. You started up the podcast in and around 2020, and then I was on there.
Was bored
a bunch, and then around 2021, 2022, Thrasher's Paradise for me and the standpoint, I was getting burnt out from doing all the interviews because I really dedicated a lot of time to interviewings, and I work a factory job, so I do like 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 2 off.
Yeah,
like I'm in a 12-hour rotation, so I'm trying to make this work and that work. And then just whenever Tom asked, "Hey, you want to come on the podcast?" I was like, "Absolutely, I want to come on. Let's have some fun." And we just turned
all the
into
hot takes. Like
it would be what was supposed to be like 15 minutes. We turned into like a hour-long podcast of us just getting sidetracked because we just talk. Don't stop.
I think this was a clip I posted to Instagram too, is like, why are we called the Metal Robot Podcast? We should be called ADHD the podcast at that point.
Sidetracked, because we just always get sidetracked. But
that's our slogan.
It was
sidetracked.
It was in around 22. Like it was kind of funny too, because around the time I find out I was going to become a dad, I was kind of starting to talk to you about, hey, I think you and we should combine, because I'm thinking like, he can cover up all my weaknesses and I can cover up all of his. like we complement each other where
Very well. Yes.
very well. And it's like I know what I'm good at and I know what he's good at, and he's good at the stuff I'm terrible with, and I'm slightly better than the stuff he needs work on.
Yeah, your
Politely.
improv skills are much better than mine. Like,
so a little tidbit for all the listeners. Every interview I've done, I've not had a script for. I've
No.
not wrote down
Wow.
questions. Yeah,
I've always
very
required
much
one.
I very much believe in being authentic and just trying to have that more intimacy where
Yeah.
you're just being. It doesn't feel like a robot. No pun intended. To this guy talk like just a robotic
feel you.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's
I feel
it
you.
was very much that, but and then like I kept talking about more and more, and I wanted to combine Thrasher's Paradise with the Metal Robot and like kind of make the thrashing bot.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then Tom, as the good businessman he is, he came up with a counter offer and like, well, why don't we just start our own podcast? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I love it. Let's do it. Perfect. And you know what took a year and a half to
finally get around to it.
get around to it in late 2024, we finally recorded the first batch of episodes, and we made something, and I love every minute of it. I love working with this guy. He's fun to work with. It's a lot of fun to do, and I feel bad that he's like editor and like time management guy and all this, and then I'm just like, I have food.
What?
It matters.
Don't
Food
undersell the
matters.
food, man. Don't undersell
It matters.
food.
I feel well. You're editing all the episodes.
Yes,
You're like making
so
sure they get out on time, and it's like
Yeah,
I'm just
so
like
my responsibilities as
I have the Tim Hortons.
yeah, my
That's
responsibility
what counts.
well, you know what? For me, I don't mind, because the way I see this dynamic for this podcast specifically is because this is technically a Metal Robot production under the Metal Robot brand. I see myself as like the guy who's just kind of in charge of like the minutia, the stuff that allows the creative, the host, to do his thing. And so for me, it's like I'm behind the board, making sure you sound good. I'm doing all the sound effects. Then editing it afterwards and getting all the sound effects for that, sound effects and production stuff, and time management stuff like uploading and getting clips.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I take care of all the behind the scenes stuff, even though I am also a co-host.
Yes.
Well, you are like the main like voice.
I'm the main character.
You are you have such main character energy. I'm telling you.
Well, how many times are you adjusting my mics per episode?
That's a producer thing.
That doesn't go away. That doesn't go away.
No,
it's
no, it
ingrained.
doesn't.
It is ingrained in you. So how much
Yeah.
that year and a half that you spend leading up to the eventual point where you're like, okay, we're going to do this together, and this
Yeah.
is going to be a thing. How much of that time is spent just relationship building and getting to know each other so that you can play off of each other's strengths and
Well,
weaknesses?
the funny thing is, there was like before we started a podcast, we didn't talk to each other a lot. Like life was hectic. I was, I became a new dad, a first time dad. I was trying to figure out how to be a dad. My ex unfortunately broke up with me 2 months in. So it's like I'm trying to figure out how to be like a dad on my own.
You also working full time.
Working full time. So it's like I'm trying to do juggling all this, and
for me, hours started ramping up at CHML, at the radio station I was working at. I was moving up and covering for more hours and more time slots. I covered by the time the station closed, I had worked midday, morning, evening, during the week, and then weekends, overnights. I've done everything
and
by that
then
point. But also on top of that, Metal Robot Reviews YouTube, was still doing a little bit of that. And still working on that Metal Robot podcast and trying to keep up with like doing social media stuff and everything in between.
Yeah, and then my radio show too was going on at the same time, but also trying to fit everything in. And then I want to say it was unfortunately like your mom passing that.
This was around
I went to the visitation with my ex at the time.
And, this was
still my ex. I shouldn't say at the time. She's still my ex.
Yeah,
poor grammar choice on my part.
March 2024.
That's what was going on then. I get it.
Yeah. So we went, we talked, and then I didn't reach out to. I wanted Tom to reach out to me because I wanted to respect his space and you know, because a death does a lot to someone, and you
Yeah.
know, everyone processes death differently, and you know, I wanted to respect his space. I didn't really want to like
Mhm.
talk much. I just wanted him to heal, and then out of the blue, I got a message. Hey, you want to come over to record? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then from there on, it was like,
I think by that point, I had managed to get the money I needed to be able to upgrade my studio
Yes.
because everything was bare
Mm.
bones. I was
Mhm.
working out of a Focusrite Scarlett, which I still have. But eventually I was able to it's like, okay, I can upgrade the studio. I can get an Elgato prompter for video making. I can get an actual Rodecaster so we can do like multiple guests in the same room. And I also upgraded my desktop from a little Mac computer, a little laptop, to an actual gaming PC. And at that point, I'm like, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to start up another podcast and get Colin involved. So that's when I reached out. I'm like, hey, you still want to do that podcast we talked about? I've still got the Google Doc.
and then insert that gun from that game Rick and Morty created. It was the let's do it, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. And then first episode got done, and it was like, we did it. It was like, yeah,
We were productive.
We were productive. We finally did it. So it sounds like just the formation of the podcast kind of helped you both heal in the middle of what was chaos
yeah,
in
it did.
each of your lives.
So I also feel too like we both had two very special women enter our lives that helped us
Mhm.
kind of morph us into the gentleman we are now. Like I feel the introduction of your girlfriend really really helped you a lot grow as a person, and then the introduction of my daughter like helped me grow and become an emotional like mess and just be like, I have emotions. What the fuck? This isn't a thing. Come on.
I think they're telling you that the emotions are allowed. The women in your life are telling you the emotions are
Yes.
allowed. They're fine. They don't make you any less manly.
And then it kind of worked out too because I was becoming a lot happier in my life again.
Yeah.
And it was like the timing perfect. He messaged me and was like, let's do it.
I also learned
Let's do it.
You also learned very quickly getting a girlfriend that there's no such thing as no space for plush.
Yes, as
Space.
every episode the pumpkin queen appears, there's a new challenger that approaches. And
it's so funny. We talked about actually like getting a TikTok made of the entire day of recording for the multiple episodes because she switched out. We didn't even notice until like a few episodes later how she like switched out each stuffy. There was a new one and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
It needs to be one of those like stuffy count. Ding, 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 you know?
Yeah, it was so funny when you pointed out because I didn't even know she was doing that.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
I mean, I think for me it was more just me getting concerned. Like, is there enough room for all of us?
And then,
yeah, like, are we just going to be kicked out of our own podcast by a stuffed animal?
They're going to take over. They're going to take over just like AI. It's going to happen.
We shall see.
I'm choosing my words very carefully because they're beside us.
Oh, well, yeah, we don't want to cause any problems. That's right. That's
Careful.
right. We don't want to cause any problems.
Lucifer is watching.
Oh,
Lucifer is watching.
Yes. At least there's no fugglers.
Oof.
That you know of.
That reminds me of Furbies back in the day. I was like, don't get me wrong, they were hilarious and I enjoyed having them around, them and Beanie Babies, to be honest. I'm definitely a 90s kid.
Yeah.
But there's all the conspiracies of theories about them now. I'm like, why did I leave my Furby around everywhere? Why did I have it with me everywhere? I don't know what it saw or didn't see. I don't know. To this day, we don't know.
It saw everything.
Don't.
It knows your deepest, darkest secrets, the one you don't even know about.
That's
Run.
That's Jordan Peele's next horror movie. It's going to be about a Furby.
It should be. I'm waiting for it.
It's about Furbies, played by Labubu's.
They are next, aren't they? They are the new Furby. They are. I swear to God, they are. With all the theories about them.
I don't even know what the hell is the thing with the Labubus. I just saw it pop up to one. I'm like, what is this?
I guess they're supposed to be cute. I don't know why they popped off as much. I'm not like in that world, so
like what's with like creepy things being like commercialized that's cute?
Well,
I have no idea.
It's weird. for me as a guy.
Maybe it's the same principle that got Furbies popular. I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause-
but
'cause
Furbies were designed cute. There's the difference.
Yeah. No idea.
Like as an adult, you're like, it's like a porcelain doll. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But as a kid,
No.
you're like, oh, it moves.
It moves.
It talks.
I'll do it.
Yes.
It says it'll take my parents in their sleep. That's awesome.
Mommy, my Furby said I should sacrifice the goat.
Can I sacrifice the goat, Papa? Can I sacrifice the goat?
Oh my
Oh boy, this is going. Oh my goodness! Like we could do this all day. We really could do this all day.
Yes.
Yes.
What? So, what was it that got you both into metal to begin with? I was curious about that too. Just speaking strictly about the music.
Call of Duty for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, it was just my stepdad was a big rocker, and he grew up loving the grunge era stuff, and
Right.
you know, being a big fan of Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and a lot of the heavier rock bands. So from there, I kind of wanted to experience more heavier stuff because growing up in the 2000s for me, I'm 25.
Mhm.
So like I grew up and like we had Avenged Sevenfold played on the radio. There was Linkin Park. There was like Limp Bizkit, Korn. Like those were some of the key bands where I was like, hey, this is cool. Not knowing like, yeah, it's cool. But then it was around like high school, I got into bands like Trivium and God, like Dream Theater, and just the heaviness kept going up and up and up. And then I reached Cannibal Corpse. It's like, okay, I think I'm in this thing for sure.
We have reached supreme. We have reached supreme corpse grinder neck ratio circumference. It's just happening. That's kind of how it happened with me too. Actually, it was more so the instrument and the sound of the guitar. Because for me, it started with like Freebird and the random solo, and I was like, what is making that noise? And then I start to hear, oh, that's Leonard Skinner. And they also sound kind of sort of like Aerosmith and Boston and Foreigner. And let's dive into them. Oh, okay. A little bit heavier. What's up from that? And it just goes further and further and deeper into it.
Yeah.
It was more the instrument, I think, for me than anything.
Yeah. For me, it was like my stepmom got me into a lot of like I was very much like the all over the place, didn't really have a home with music, but my mom was a rocker chick growing up. Like, so she was like legitimately, like we were talking about how you were at her visitation, like over the speakers, they'll have like music playing, and we knew we had to, for hers, a playlist, include a lot of her favorites. So there was Metallica, Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll popped up a couple times, like stuff like that. So she had me growing up on, she loved Nickelback. She also, like, I grew up on Bon Jovi. She introduced me to Skid Row, like that kind of thing. And once I played Black Ops 2 back in like 2012, it ended with the end credit scene had Avenged Sevenfold playing Carry On. And I was like, must dive into these guys. By that point, I'd already been listening to 3 Days Grace. So the heavier side of rock was already a thing for me. And it just kind of spiraled from there. All of a sudden, it's like Devil Wears Prada, Trivium, a date, like As They Lay Dying before Tim Lambesis went to prison. And then it was...
we could do an entire episode. We could do an entire episode about all that, honestly. Honestly.
We'll make ourselves available for it.
And what, Volbeat, Whitechapel, like the likes, everything just kept kind of going. And eventually, once I started doing Metal Robot reviews in 2016, it just expanded faster than the heat death of the universe. So it just kind of went from there. There's just something about metal always being there for you at whatever is going on in life too. I mean, through I'm a kid that like moved around a lot, and that kind of carried on into adulthood with what I used to do for a living. I do this for fun just because I enjoy it now, and I have a regular jagoff day job. But but before, like, just being so transient and moving around a lot, I was like, okay, every time I've been through something, every time I've moved on in life, literally and figuratively, it's been there. And there's something about going to shows too, live shows. Obsessed with the live shows, obsessed with running. I still am obsessed with running to the store and trying to get a physical copy of a new album that's out.
if I can
Yeah.
do it. I mean,
I kind of miss that. I kind of miss
yeah,
doing that.
me too. I do.
Mm.
Because the last time I did it, I think was Soilworks Living Infinite. And I remember driving through a snowstorm to get it because I was like, I need to hear this.
That is
I know. And then
awesome.
I was lucky enough to talk to Bjorn, I think a couple months after it came out. And I was like, Bjorn, this is great. I drove through a snowstorm to get this. He's like, you didn't have to do that. It wasn't going anywhere. Like the music was there.
That's
Like,
cool.
it wasn't gonna leave you. I was like, I know, but I needed it then. I needed to listen to it at that time.
I respect it. I respect that so much.
Yeah.
I needed it. I needed it. And
Yeah.
I appreciate just, the whole like there's a sense of community about it. Everybody can talk about what they're listening to now. They can talk about what it is that got them into it in the first place. I did check out one of your more recent episodes. We're just recapping what you both were listening to in September. Tom,
Our Y belt.
Our Y belts.
Our
Yeah.
Y belts.
yeah, it was fantastic. And Tom, I'm with you on the Igor. That to me was the standout. that was the standout. It was for me. It was a stand because there's something about Igor that I think does better than Sleep Token. I said what I said. I think they do the blending
You will
of
hear
the genres.
no
better.
arguments from these guys, right?
To
You will
me-
hear no arguments.
To me they do the blending of the genres and the blending of the different sounds better than Sleep Token. I said what I said.
I feel like Igor did Avenged Sevenfold's Life is But a Dream, but actually better. Like they did what they thought they were going to get, and that's Igor's entire catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's been 2 weeks in October almost, but
Yeah.
anything since then that's catching our ear?
I've been listening to the new Megadeth
Tipping
song,
Point. Right.
Tipping Point. Yeah.
Right.
So ever since the announcement came that this is it,
Yeah.
I've been kind of paying a bit more attention to Megadeth, where in the past I couldn't care less.
I hear you. Yeah.
But listening to and being able to hear like the older stuff too, and just hearing that new song was like, okay, this might be something. Like for me, I think that's going to be the metal story of 2026 is Megadeth's last ride.
I think it can be. It's definitely working up toward it, and I'm following them for the same reason because I want to know when the farewell tour is happening. I want to know when the closest date to me is happening because I do want to see that. People shit on Dave Mustaine. People shit on Dave Mustaine, but I do think he made an impact in the genre, regardless.
It's funny because Tom and I talked about like I think in the August Y belt about Megadeth's retirement, or August or July.
It was
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Summer lovin'. Sorry, Grease. But
Theater kid?
Yeah.
Theater kid, a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. Called it.
My dad works at a playhouse here in Hamilton, Ontario, where there's a bunch of plays, and I gotta go see them a lot. But back to Tom and I were talking about Megadeth, and he goes, "Well, how do you know it's for sure?" I'm like, You can't do Megadeth without.
I wasn't
Dave.
questioning it, but I was kind of like, what if they do like a Slayer kind of like final tour, like farewell tour, where there's like, yeah, we're gone, bye bye, and then it's all this pressure's like, yeah, they're not coming back, like from like the wives, and then next thing you know, hey, guess who's back?
No, for me,
Back
it was
again. Back again.
my key point I told Tom was Dave feels like the kind of guy
Slayer's
that
back. All right.
We're just endless. Dude, sorry, I'm 35.
No, it's all
we're
good.
gonna keep the 90s references
That's
going.
fine.
It's okay.
That's fine.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. No, and I was telling him like Dave comes off as the kind of guy that once he he seemed like if he's set about something, I'm pretty sure he's gonna keep to it. Like
Yeah,
you can't have Megadeth without Dave.
No,
Like you can't.
Doesn't
the
happen.
two are in sync.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I believe Dave when it's all said and done. Like this is it.
Yeah.
For me, it's more in Hamilton. We recently got our big venue like renovated, and we're getting a bunch of big concerts coming our way. Like
lucky you.
we got 9 Inch Nails which still I can't understand why they're coming to Hamilton. It's so weird. The Offspring is coming with Bad Religion. We got the Jonas Brothers, some Korean K-pop band called Twice.
Oh.
So I'm kind of waiting to see if Megadeth's going to come to us over Toronto or what's going on there, because I definitely want to go see them, especially if it's going to be their last time, not only in Ontario but in Canada as a whole.
Yeah. I'm excited for when Sabaton comes.
Yeah,
eventually.
yes.
We've
already talked
potentially-
about it.
Says the man who loved Powerwolf as well. I love it.
Yes.
So yeah, speaking of what I've been listening to, I've been gearing up for Sabaton with the new album. I've been hearing like the 5 tracks that are that have been released so far, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've also checked out a lot of other stuff. I check out is for review for Metal Robot. So I checked out Cathedral. They had a song dug up by the record label because they've not been around since 2013, I think.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, and they came out and the record label was like, "Hey, we found a 30-minute song. They've recorded it. Let's release it." It's called Society's Pact with Satan.
Of course it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I checked out the new Orbit Culture.
I checked that out too.
It's not bad.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Lamb of God had a new song.
Yeah,
It was weird. That was weird.
I'm not
know how I feel
surprised.
about it.
I'm not with Randy's punk history and like obsession with
Yeah.
Bad Brains and that type of direction. I'm not surprised at what I heard. I'll put it that
I've
way.
checked out the new Amorphous and Revocation albums.
Yes,
I thought they
Amorphous
were
is a
very
standout.
good.
Yeah.
I was very pleased with it. Like, I'm a fan to a point where it's like I don't care what other people think about the album. To me, it just comes off good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, they're one of those bands where I've never been able to find an issue with their albums.
Mhm.
And I just really enjoy their stuff, especially when the new album comes. It just, I don't know, it feels kind of like nice and like that. Like, it's on a hot day and you're finally getting that like nice cold beverage in you, and you're just like, yeah, this feels right.
Like,
So,
yeah,
like,
some
new
Amorphous, please.
Yeah, new Amorphous just feels right. So it's always nice to have new stuff by them. But like Tom said, I'm looking forward to the new Sabaton, Testament, because I'm a thrashy boy in this thrashy world, and anything thrash pisses Tom off, so I'm all for pissing him off.
This guy, I swear.
But does it really? Like, it doesn't really piss you off.
It doesn't. That's the thing.
I more bust his chops about it.
Yeah, because here's that all comes from my. Anytime I talk about a underground thrash metal band on Metal Robot, because all of them keep copying the greats of thrash, and as somebody who wants to hear something different, it annoys me because it's like, underground thrash metal band that's already released at least 2 albums before this one. You've established yourself already. Can you please stop ripping off Slayer and just make your own sound? Can these guys here, can they please do something other than Testament and Anvil? There was like a couple thrash bands I do enjoy that do try their own thing. There was one, I forget the name, but it's like Reptile, I think, something like that. Reptilian, where they actually reached out to me and asked me to check out one of their EPs, and it's good stuff. It's great thrash metal because it combines some other stuff, and it still feels like a thrash metal album.
See, for me, where I'm kind of like that hardcore slam fan, where it's like, I know the difference between these bands. What do you mean you can't tell the difference?
Name 3 songs.
Name 3 songs.
No, I'm not that elite. I'm like,
God.
hey, I know that band.
Listen, I'm married to a prog guy. I get it. I get the I am. This man in my I love my husband, but in his world, nobody does it better than Michael Lickerfeld. You cannot talk about it. You cannot. And I agree. I like Opeth too. I was not pissed off at Heritage. I wasn't. I was okay with it.
This man right here is the self-proclaimed prog frog. He is. If it is prog, 9 times, like
I can't
8
say,
times out of 10, you like it.
I can't even say self-proclaimed. That was the Pumpkin Queen's idea.
Yes.
It's same as Lindsay Schoolcraft being the goth moth.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But no, like it's the same thing with every genre, though. I picked on thrash the most because that was where I got the most of that problem early on in like the early 2020s and so on and so forth. But for me, it was every genre has this problem. Death metal especially has this problem. Even prog metal, I find there's like some instances where I'm like, I mean, it's okay. It's like it's different. It's their own thing. But I'm like, it's only okay.
See, for me, I find prog can be too prog.
That's the thing.
And that's
it's like,
such a weird thing to
you know,
say
you know what it is? Like
every band is different, and but you know when it's reached, this is too prog.
Well, this is too heady. It's too in our head.
For me, it's a matter
too
of
much.
It's a matter of, are they writing songs because they are like it's an art form, or is the prog song prog because they forgot how to stop writing? or they don't know how to really write a masterpiece, so they just shred. You know,
so the Mike Mangini era of Dream Theater.
Kind of. You know who else I would ask Steven Wilson that question, that very question. Like, he's the one. He is the producer. He's into prog himself, obviously, but as from a producer standpoint, I would be like, so Steven, when you get into the studio, the other prog acts, what are you observing? Is this a thing? Is this not a thing? Is this just I need to outdo myself, or I'm trying to outdo the music, or I'm just having fun and I'm not thinking about it at all?
Well, prog is a very difficult genre to write for, because if it's not intentional. Like, I was running into this problem incorporating prog influences into my own songwriting, because it's like every note has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Every note, every phrase, every bar, it's got to have intention, or otherwise you're just showing off, right? Which Dream Theater, thankfully they have every intention, but also
like, John, cool it for just like two solos, bro. For two solos.
John, fine. We don't need another solo in this 25-minute song.
Fuck off! I could do that.
But if you can't, but if I could, I would. I don't blame him. there is part of me that kind of feels that way about it too. I'm like, you know what? You're John Petrucci. Go do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Go do it.
Yeah. It was funny. I actually, before we started recording this, I made a joke with him, and I go, you know how I know you're not a metalhead? Why? You think Opeth Sorceress is a jazz album?
Wait, yeah, we were recording a TikTok earlier, and it's either by the time this podcast comes out, it's probably either out or I've been stuck in editing hell somehow.
Again. How many unedited TikTok podcast things do we have? So many.
The limit does not exist.
For the sake of my dignity, I dare not say.
Insert 90s Windows startup error.
I think we got rid of that sound effect, actually.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm just saying we don't need to have this.
No, but yeah.
So I think you're right when we were talking a little bit ago about Megadeth being one of the bigger stories that could come for 2026. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I think we're going to see that. Rewinding a little bit and just chatting about what we've seen this past year, 2025.
Okay.
Big stories. Just your quick hot takes, gentlemen, on some of the bigger ones. Things like the passing of Ozzy, obviously.
That hit hard.
It still feels, for me, it still feels like hard to believe.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because it's been like now 3 months since he's passed.
I was at a doctor's appointment when I opened Instagram because I was bored, and it's like, oh, what do you mean Ozzy's dead an hour ago?
See,
I thought it was spam, but then everybody kept doing it.
See, for me, I don't believe something until I see a legitimate news article about it. And when the BBC made an article, it's like,
oh, it's
real.
No, because the BBC of all like sources too, like that made it. Yeah, no, I totally feel you on that. I got a TMZ notification in the middle of my workday, and like everybody heard me go at my cubicle, and they're like, "What happened?"
I was seeing people. I was seeing like it was like stuff trending on TikTok where people were like radio hosts. I'd rock radio stations. They're before their talk break start tearing up. They were sobbing, and they're and they changed up their entire thing, and then they would have to go on the air like with tears streaming down their face, trying to find the words. It was so emotional.
Even when Gojira had to break the news to a crowd full of people, like during their performance, because
they were performing, and then like 5 minutes before like the next song or something like that, they were like, "Oh my god, really?"
It's like, but no, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm glad he impacted music the way he did. I'm glad he entered the industry. And, you know, in the end, I think now that he's gone, there's going to be a lot more appreciation for the music that he's left behind. Like here in Canada, during the 2010s, we lost a great Canadian rock singer named Gord Downey of the Tragically Hip, and his passing really opened up my generation to the hip and the impact their music had, not just on rock, but Canadian culture as a whole. Like, it's a voice of a generation that can never be replaced, but also a voice that will never go away because thankfully, due to online music now and albums and just radio play, we're gonna always have their music.
Especially since, like, after Gord Downey passed, like, Tragically Hip, like, the amount of stuff that got played on the radio shot up. Same thing with Gordon Lightfoot.
Yes, we're getting extra Canadian now.
We're getting extra Canadian.
Uber Canadian. Like, oh man, I was just on Lake Superior this past weekend in Duluth, so I'm like, oh god, land of Edmund Fitzgerald. Here we go. Like, there's something so Midwest about the rug of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Like, everybody in the mid, like, that is like, if you want to call a Midwesterner at like a bat signal, play that song. Play that song, and you will find. So I guarantee you will find somebody from the Great Lakes, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, eh? What we doing?"
That's amazing.
All fuck,
I'd love to hear that.
Oh, sorry, did I hit you on the way? Sorry,
but
like,
no,
they'll do it.
Yeah, but no, just the fact Ozzy went out the way he did, I think makes it even more special.
Planned it better. You couldn't have planned it better. And honestly,
I'm glad he was able to get his final performance before he passed.
Me too. Me too. Low-key, I thought that was kind of what, like, honestly, when I first read that he had passed, that's partially why I thought it was a joke, because of the proximity.
Right.
Because of the proximity. Right. It was I think it was 2.5 weeks, maybe not even, after Back to the Beginning. And I was like, nah, this is a hoax. Somebody's just saying this. But then you're like, no, that Jack Osbourne said it. It's real. Like,
it was tough. Yeah.
Yes, but you know, we're glad we got him.
Yeah.
We're glad he got to do his last show.
I'm glad I was able to see the final show. I was very fortunate that I wasn't working that day, and I was able to stop by Sean's to be able to watch it.
Yeah. Thank you again for rubbing that in.
Sorry. I'm not trying to, but it was like,
Mister, I had the day off versus I have to work 12 hours.
I
had to work Sabbath.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you.
We made that a joke in the beginning of the Back to the Beginning review too. It's like you were dying in a hot factory, and I'm like, I was in an air conditioned basement.
And I kind of gave him the, what did you just say to me?
Yeah,
really?
It's like, the fuck you just say?
Really? No, that too. Brent Hinds was another one that hit me this past year, and in the same kind of way that you're describing with Ozzy, Collin. When I saw a local Atlanta news source like break it first, I was like, oh shit, it's real. He's dead. He's dead. I was like, this, and then Adam Jones of Tool starts, and then you see all the friends, close personal friends that you know if you're a fan, like start talking about it too. I'm like, God, I'm like, all the drama before. I'm like, I hope that Brent got to say what he wanted to say before he passed, and then it's like over now, and he's like at peace now. That's what I feel.
For me, it was just like him leaving Mastodon was like huge.
A shock.
It was
25 years. 25 years. How that's longer than most marriages.
And it's like
like, for crying out loud.
You're not wrong.
For crying out loud.
You're not wrong.
That was such an ADHD like squirrel moments, like lasted longer than most marriages. But I wasn't ready for that one.
No, but you're not wrong. It was like, I couldn't believe it because I'm a big Mastodon fan. It was like,
see, I'm not a big Mastodon fan, but because I've only gotten to a few of them. But when I heard the news, even I was like, what?
For me, it was like, what's Mastodon gonna sound like without Brent?
That's a great question.
And now when he passed, it was like the door really closed shut on like that possibility one day they could reconcile and he come back and tour again. But that's gone now. And it's like, I know they're working on new stuff. So it's like, well, how does this impact the new album?
Yeah. I'm going to follow along. I'm going to follow along and see what they do.
Like, because it's going to be interesting to see how the new album is done, if they even fall through with it.
Yeah, is it going to be a Black Dahlia murder situation, or is it going to be a Linkin Park situation?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see who the permanent replacement is.
I kind of hope
they
it's
go
Nick.
from there.
If they are, like,
Pardon?
I kind of
Nick.
hope it's Nick. I kind of
Yeah.
hope he's. I kind of hope he sticks with, because they seem comfortable already.
Yeah.
We know he can do it. It would. It for me, just the content creator in me would have been like extra giddy
Yeah.
if it was Ben Eller. But like, it would. I would have been extra giddy if it was him. But I'm all right with Nick stays with them too. We'll see.
There's the cursed part of me that's like, what if they just brought on like Buckethead? What if you know what? Dave Mustaine comes out of retirement just for Mastodon.
What's next? Are we going to throw John 5 into the mix?
Poor John 5. Poor John 5.
No, if they really want. No, if they want to piss people off, just like, guys, we have a new Mastodon singer. It's Taylor Swift.
Singer.
Singer. Oh my God.
Can you imagine if they just got like the most cursed part of my brain just like going there? It's like we can rattle off like a Rolodex of random pop stars filling in a Mastodon.
That too. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to comprehend what that would even sound like. Taylor and Mastodon. Taylor and Mastodon. I'm like, well, the lyrics would change for sure. And I don't know how I feel about that. But she might be into the sound. I don't know. She is a musician. Like
I think Bad Blood is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I say she lasts a month and then writes an entire album about her time with Mastodon.
About how much she hates them.
Yes.
But she steals the shit talking from Brent Hinds. Like that's it. And just tweaks his words. And it's full
she reads
circle.
his diary.
It's full circle. We go full circle with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, here, at least what we've been talking about somewhat recently in the States anyway, is the Gwar backlash, because Elon Musk is kind of a controversial figure for a ton of reasons.
I mean,
I didn't hear about this. So
Okay,
what
there was
happened?
I heard about it, but yeah.
So Gwar does what Gwar does. I'll put it that. The fans know what I mean when I say that. Gwar does what they do on stage.
I do know the Gwar, and I love the Gwar. I've seen the Gwar twice.
He loves the Gwar.
The Gwar is great. The Gwar is legendary. The Gwar is known for doing what they do. And yes. That is the beheading and gruesome things on stage to a variety of presidents and public figures.
Yeah.
This is something they do. This is something they do in their live shows. But the problem is some people were salty about it, at least here. And it was kind of making like mainstream news here anyway, because they did it to Elon Musk. And I don't know why. I don't know why the concern about Musk, because I'm like, well, he's not a president. Like, but I don't get it.
It's definitely. I feel. Speaking, I'm gonna speak as somebody who worked in news radio for 5 years. This is definitely a political thing, where it's like because of his association with Donald Trump, because of his association with the MAGA crowd, guarantee most of the people getting pissed off were never seen a Gwar show before, and B, we're definitely MAGA simps. Right. So like it's definitely a political thing, I feel, but it's like it's Gwar. I don't know what people were expecting.
That's how I felt. But if you're not a fan, you don't know. If you are not a metalhead, you don't know that. You don't know that's what they do.
Well, that's the thing is like I was talking about a similar thing on social media about like at Louder Than Life, Sleep Token fans were dropping crowd surfers, and it's like, guys, crowd surfing is a normal thing in metal. Yeah. And you know, there's obvious, and since then, like comments have been like nothing but debate over like, I don't want someone kicking me in the back of the head versus don't drop the crowd surfers. That will actually hurt you and them at the same time. And somehow, despite me not bringing it up, there managed to be at least a couple people going, Sleep Token's not metal. I'm like, fuck off. I didn't ask.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just leave it alone, guys. Because I kind of
I want to say my piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gwar, come to Canada. I want to see that. I want to see that. Come on.
If they're allowed now, I don't know. Like, good God.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to leave the country? Yeah, go. We don't want you.
come here. I want to see what they do to Pierre Poilievre.
No.
Or him. Either
Trudeau.
True. Either or. I get the feeling. I get the feeling they're very left leaning. They might do both.
I mean, in my opinion, it's like South Park.
Yeah.
we know they're gonna fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
we surprised? As like metalheads should know this by now about Gwar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're gonna kill people.
They're gonna no,
Not
see,
literally.
No, see,
On
like,
stage.
I say
Yeah.
Pierre Polyev, you say Trudeau, I say Porque no los dos. Why not both?
Kickish?
Why not both?
Why not both? Yeah. No, they don't get that specific.
No,
mean,
they
when-
don't. And they honestly cross party lines with how
But,
much.
like-
Oh, big time, yeah.
Here's my thing. Like, if they're making a big deal about this, why didn't they make a big deal about Trump at Gwar shows being killed?
I feel like they
You know what I
did,
mean?
but
Fair,
it didn't get
fair.
enough coverage.
But see, like that's the thing. It's like, so you're doing this. You're not saying shit about this, but you're saying shit about the Tesla guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I think it is? Because
What the hell?
Trump didn't see his beheading, so he probably doesn't even know it exists and probably assumes it doesn't. But Elon Musk probably saw it and tweeted about it.
Oh, that's a
Oh
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm guessing the
Twitter.
Trump one didn't get as much coverage. But when Elon Musk sees it, he's got to talk about it. He's glued to that shit.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is I want that Musk blood all over me at the next Gwar show. That's all I'm gonna say.
So we're clipping that out of context, right?
clearly.
I said what I
we need the
said.
clicks. No,
I said what I said, and I stand by it.
that's what we need to measure. How many times we've said that in this episode? I said what I said. We need
I said what I said.
Gwa.
We'll have a counter going. You'll have a
Yeah,
counter going.
yeah. Yes.
we just hit on legacy shows a little bit ago too, and I didn't get to watch all of that in the beginning. I did get to go to Pantera Live. To me, that was another legacy type thing, which
Yeah.
also has its hot takes as to, well, is it disrespectful to Diamond Vinny if you go to something like that? And I'm like,
Yeah, like is it called is it really Pantera if Diamond Vinny are not
I
part of it?
mean, I think
there's that argument, and to me, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I am 35, so I did not get to go to Pantera in the early 90s. I was a toddler, so I didn't get to see it. So for somebody
Yeah.
in my age range, this is, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to see any
Yeah.
version of it. Period. That's how I looked at it.
See, I feel this is a great time to bring it up because just yesterday, Rush announced they're going to be doing
Right.
a tour
Yeah.
Right.
with a new drummer. And again,
In Toronto, which my God,
Yes.
go to like
2
the
days.
center of everything. That's got to be
Yeah.
an amazing show.
but for me, it's like, I think it's really cool because now that I am an adult and I have adult money that I like to spend on amazing things that other people call, you don't need another metal band shirt. Be quiet. It's my money.
I always need another shirt. If
I
I-
need
if
that
I
one.
can-
I need that one. I need that one. But no,
If I can't fill 20 closets full of metal shirts, I'm not a real metalhead. That's how it goes. That is the law.
If you
It was
cannot
decided a long
alphabetize
time
them.
ago. If you cannot alphabetize them and sort them by shade of black, then you are not a real
I was about to say I sort them by color, but they're all black. Exactly.
you sort them by the shade.
But no, for me, it's like I think it's a cool opportunity to get to see Rush, and
Mhm.
you know, just watching the video and getting to see Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson talk about you know,
Right. That was a
getting
great video.
together and like just jamming in Geddy Lee's basement and just hanging out. It's like I get why they want to do it,
Mhm.
and you know, no one's ever going to replace Neil.
No, I
No
was
one can.
fortunate. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see them twice with Neil.
Oh, that's
So-
amazing.
For this particular instance, I think I might pass just because I don't want to
Yeah.
tarnish that.
No,
Like-
that's
Yeah, yeah.
I get that. For me, it's I don't. This to me is like a once in a lifetime opportunity where
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
I'm kind of curious if it's like a Metallica situation where it's like you buy the ticket and you get both nights.
Okay.
Mm.
And we were talking about it off air too. Like we were talking about like who if they were gonna have openers, who would open for Rush?
And you joked just Mike
No.
Portnoy.
Yeah, just see for me.
Why wasn't Mike Portnoy selected as drummer? That's a
See,
better,
that's what we were talking about
that is a
too.
better question.
I'm honestly surprised Mike wasn't like, can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Hello.
Mike, we're touring. James, shut up. It's Rush. Can I do
Go over
it?
there with
Can I
your
do
big
it?
chungus. Go over there.
But in my opinion on it, it's it all depends because you know you
Yeah.
get like in situations like death. You know, Chuck Schwarzenegger is gone, but there's death to all now, where it's like the members coming together to continue the music through a different name, kind of like Prophets of Rage back in the 2015s, where it was everyone but the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have issues with that, but again, like you get Pantera trying to do it, and
well,
it's
that's the debate, because I've heard people. Oh, like the debate is like, should they be called Pantera as they're touring live? Some people agree that they're okay to do that, but if they start releasing music as this group, should it be called Pantera?
Yeah. Well, that's same with Linkin Park.
Well, yeah, that's a
That's a good question. I mean, I'm not mad at them touring as Pantera because half the band is still the original members. What do you want?
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's not just Phil Anselmo just touring like, hey motherfuckers, it's Phil H. Anselmo.
That's exactly how it went. Great job.
Yeah,
that's exactly
on point.
Bravo, thank you.
No, but yeah, him and Rex. I mean, and they killed it. I wasn't mad at it at all. Zach played Dime's parts. Period. As if it was going to be any guitarist that could do Dime's parts, I would have chosen Zach. And
I feel he's the fill-in guy for every metal band.
Well, he is the like fill-in guy.
He's just like, hey Zach, you want to do black metal?
Okay,
sure.
No, you got no. He's like, sure, why not, brother? Let's do this.
I do a better Fred Durst.
I assume, yeah, you do.
You went Leroy Jenkins with that. We were real Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
I was like, I hope to God I'm finding other people that still get that reference. I hope I'm not that old.
We're not that young.
I have a coworker that's 35 as well, and we're basically the same person except for a few little differences. So it's kind of funny talking a decade apart, and he brings up Leroy Jenkins. I was like, what's that? And he shows me the video, and it's like, okay, I can't now. I have to reference this every chance I can.
It's funny too, because you and I are like 3 years apart. I'm like a 97, you were 2000. So it's always funny, like when I look back on like the cursed era of YouTube back in the 2000s and like all of the meme songs from like the Newgrounds days as well, and like all the animations. So like it took you until like pretty recently to find freaking Charlie the Unicorn. And Sean, an unbeliever. Sean, like,
no, it's a magical Leopardon.
He's gonna show us the way. And I don't think, like, I wasn't sure if you had to end up finding Badger, mushroom.
That came up in my feed yesterday. I was like,
other classic was like Ends of Z World.
Yeah, narwhals swimming in the ocean,
that
causing a
one.
commotion because they are so awesome.
Yeah,
there's so many good ones.
Yes,
Salad Fingers. Was that Salad Fingers?
Yeah, that's creepy.
I can't watch that one.
That creeped me out.
Yeah.
Happy Treehouse, I think, is what.
Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends. Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend showed me that. I had no idea what it was, and she goes, "Oh, it's a kids show." I'm like, "It's a kids show."
It's not a
That's
kids
how
show.
they get you. That's how they get you.
And then I saw it, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
See, I can't do animated blood. I can do, like, if it's like a full-on The Boys like episode where someone's getting exploded in half, I can do that. But as soon as you bring out a cartoon squirrel with a saw, no.
And they're all cutesy, and you don't know what to do.
No yeet. No yeet.
My brain is so cursed. I don't know why. And at some point, I was like, Sausage Party is the Happy Tree Friends of the modern era.
Oh my!
You know, there's some arguments to be made. There are arguments to be made for that.
I don't.
I watched that in the theater purely because Seth Rogen. Because Seth Rogen. I was like, I'll do it. I don't care. Seth Rogen and James Franco are my cinematic high school experience.
Yeah. I worked at the movie theaters when that came out. And the amount of times I've had to try to turn parents away from bringing their kids in because it's not a kid's movie.
No, they didn't get it.
It looks cute. I told the story all the time, but one mom didn't get it. Went in the theater, even though I told her no. She came out. Poor 10-year-old was like pale by the end of the movie. They stayed for the whole thing.
Why wouldn't the mom just get up, be like, okay, this isn't appropriate. Let's go. Let's go.
My guess is that they pay for the tickets and they're like, no, we are going. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll be more friendly as it goes on. Nope. It just gets worse.
It will just get more and more suggestive.
It just gets worse.
That's how serial killers are born. Watching movies like that.
And then they'll end up in the Midwest, like half of them.
Yeah.
That's just how it happens. I don't know. I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about the Midwest, but I'm like,
Mom, I'm doing a history report. Oh, what can you tell me about Jeffrey Dahmer?
No.
I just need pointers. Pointers.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, Mom.
So where do we think the future of heavy metal is going? I feel like we're going to hear a lot more core. I feel like we're also going to hear a lot more of the genre blending, at least for the next couple years or so. I think.
I feel 2026, because one of the bigger storylines going in is me speaking in wrestling terms. Yay. Storylines is Megadeth's retire. I feel it's going to be a strong year for thrash next year, because Creator, the German thrash metal giants, are releasing an album also in January as well. I know Anthrax is working on stuff, and I think it's either this week or a couple weeks from now, Testament's new album's coming out, so they're going to be doing the tour.
It's coming up this week, I believe.
Oh yeah, so they're going to be touring probably next year as well. I think Sepultura is still doing their retirement tour,
Are they? Wow.
I think it's either ended or I missed something, but one of the things. Actually, wait, the drummer of Sepultura is now with Trivium, so yeah, I guess it must be done.
Sepultura's drummer is now with
Trivium for the rest of their things.
Because freaking Alex Bent left the band. I still don't know the whole details, but it's on. They left on good terms.
We're getting back to,
but
I feel next year, I think it's going to be a very thrash heavy year.
Yeah. Kind of like a few years ago.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny because it kind of feels like 2016, where it's like the big four all released an album and they were all really good. But it's like we got one of the big four, and then I think with Anthrax writing a new album and it coming out soon, and then like Exodus also writing a new album, thrash is gonna have. I feel is going to be like a big talking point for metal subgenres next year, but also like.
I'm guaranteed to see at least a few more 100 thrash metal bands come through my PR lists.
Yeah,
guaranteed next year. Yeah,
another big one I'm looking forward to is Garia, the Portuguese black metal band.
Yeah,
okay, tell me more.
So in 2024, they hit their breakout album Coma, and it was a blend of black metal with metalcore elements, and it did really well. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how it does. It's supposed to be out early in 2026. And it's their first album to release with a bigger label. They recently signed with Century Media. So I'm very curious to see how that one goes, because I am half Portuguese. So so whenever I hear about a Portuguese metal band, I'm like, what? Where? Show me. Show me.
I'm the same way. Same way with Italian stuff.
Thank you.
Like, and anytime Lacuna Coil does something, anytime they do, and I'm like, Christina, can I please speak to you in our mother tongue? Can I please speak to you in our mother tongue sometime? And just like, I don't know, putting that out there. Someday I hope that happens. But
yeah, see. You're thinking of like next year. I'm thinking like long term, as you were saying. Even as you were saying, like metalcore, like core genres are going to become more of a thing. Blended genres. I feel like, especially with this one band that came up recently, just blew up out of nowhere. Presidents, like
who?
Exactly. Yeah, they just showed up out of nowhere.
See, this is a sleep token thing again.
No, but like this, there's a lot of theories with Presidents, and that they are like a network band, and that they know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy within the music industry. That's how they got big overnight, before they even released a fucking song, by the way. But I'm seeing the future being a mixture of, like the Sleep Token blend of genres. I'm just going to see, we're guaranteed to see a few more Sleep Token copycats popping up. I guarantee it. But also I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot more bands with hidden identities or like stage names and stuff like that.
It's becoming a thing. We're loving the Easter eggs. We are.
Yeah.
We're loving the clues. We're loving the fans are loving that interaction.
We're gonna see a lot more bands with their own hidden lore that fans can digest, and they go
look at Ice Nine Kills and what they're doing. They have their whole, cinematic universe going on, and they just announced like a Joker song, which is very interesting on my part. Like horror. Wait. beep, 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 beep. Ooh, Joker.
Comic books.
Yeah, comic books. New horror lore.
That Joker song's gonna be funny.
It's gonna leave a mark. Thank you.
How about the future for the podcast itself?
We're gonna keep going.
Lot more talking about Slam. Sorry.
We will eventually do an episode about Porno Grind. I guarantee it.
But I do want to say about the future of metal. I feel a slam band like Peeling Flesh, who's gotten really popular.
They're entering the conversation, right?
And
to me, they're entering my awareness
I
now.
think because of them, Slam's gonna be taken a bit more seriously, even though it's a joke genre. And we're going to see a lot more Slam being so showcased on the metal spectrum. But back to the podcast.
I've joked before. We're like Disney. We're gonna be doing this till we're 90.
Except we're not Ryan Reynolds, and we can't keep the sexy till forever.
Speak for yourself, sir. I'm just saying.
Hey, one day the Pumpkin Queen's gonna look at you and go, "Cut that fucking ponytail off."
Oh my god.
One day she'll look at you and be like, "So when are we dressing your daughter up in corpse paint?"
I'm like, never.
There's a family. There's this family in Slovenia that does that. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
The one.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's really tall. He's got long red hair.
Yes.
Oh, the Slovakian guy. Yes.
The one that goes nah. Like, and that's all he says.
Yes, I love him.
I love that family. I love that family. They're adorable.
So good.
For us, on the podcast front, we're gonna strive to keep doing Y Belt, because for me that was my big thing when it came to the creation of this, because the idea of Y Belt came from just a conversation we would have all the time with each other. What have you been listening to? And then I'm like, well, that should be the main thing about our podcast. Like,
it started up on the Metal Robot podcast, as an offshoot kind of thing. But then we made an actual monthly book club thing, as you were saying.
Because that was the whole inspiration. It's like there's book clubs and everyone, they read the books and they share their thoughts and everything. I'm like, well, why don't we do that but with metal music? And then every time we bring guests in, like recently in September, we had one of my best friends from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia join us, and he shared what he was listening to. And it's like, we're not here to discriminate what everyone listens to. We just want to share bands that we're listening to. And the only prerequisite we really have is it just has to be the first time you heard it.
Right. Yeah, and you've had friends on that don't choose metal picks. For
well, Justin, was it Justin or Josh that we had on?
I know Justin for sure did.
Justin had a lot of rock. Pumpkin Queen has a lot of goth stuff, musical theater stuff.
Lindsay had a
lot of
very interesting
mix of metal and pop and new wave, synth wave kind of stuff. It was really cool stuff.
But no, we want to keep having the opportunity for Y Belt to be just that. We're sharing new bands and giving people the opportunity to hear out these bands and be like, oh, maybe I want to check them out. That's
the way I see it. Because I have heard people say I don't want who have actually heard our podcast be like, I'm not a big fan of the Y Belts because I don't want to be told, I don't want to hear what they're listening to. I'm like, well,
wait, people have said that about the Y Belt?
The girlfriend has talked.
Who are we fighting? No.
Yeah, no. The girlfriend
this is the first I'm hearing about it.
Well, the girlfriend has mentioned it. It's not really a critique. It's a critique I understand, but it's one where I'm like, that's, in my opinion, the wrong way to think about the Y Belt.
Yeah.
I see it as I jokingly said the first episode, Y Bolt, because there's the E is invisible. But I treat the show as a recommendation thing, where it's we're telling people what we've been listening to, but we invite the conversation to other people to showcase what they like.
Yeah.
And give them the opportunity to discover for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bands you, Colin, have suggested where you're like, Tom, you might like this one.
Yeah.
And we talk about it, and I go, holy
I
shit,
do.
I kind of like.
And
Paleface
then-
Swiss comes to mind.
Yep, and then it'll swap, and it was surprise. I'm happy I surprised him last month with Between the Berry to Me, because he wasn't expecting it at all.
That was a surprise. We
And
talked about it like maybe
it
once
was
or twice.
quite an impressive album, I will say. But
Yeah.
we have so many other great ideas coming along. Like, we're going to keep doing our six series that
Like-
is kind of like our throwaway episodes, where it's like, okay, what do you want? We got to pick 6 things. Just what do you want to talk about? And like we do, I will say, depending on when this gets released, we can confirm we are doing like a 6 Halloween themed metal
Yes.
episode where we talk about 6 Halloween themed metal bands, and we're gonna have a special guest, but we're gonna save the surprise for
under lock and key.
a bit later on. But
Yeah.
we're gonna carry on doing so many other like series, like the Guitar Hero series, the loudest or heaviest blank,
Yeah.
heaviest song, and like we want to just venture out into other like the one-off episodes where we talk about random stuff. Like, I still want to talk about the Sabaton tour, because I find it very
Yes.
interesting that North America kind of got broke up into like a leg 1 where it's all the states, and then leg 2 is all of Canada.
That was really cool.
I think that's a very fascinating thing, and I'm kind of curious to see how many other bands might follow that formula as well, of doing each country individually but on the same tour.
And how many people might pull a Korn and do like a country specific that's not the United States?
I mean, I'm waiting for Ailstorm to do their Canada specific tour.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Hailstorm's always fun. They're always a good time.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting. I want to bring him. I want to bring him to see Steel Panther.
Another good time.
Dear God.
Another great time.
I'll
but
invite the girlfriend.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Michael, they say, Michael Starr, you motherfucker. For a reason, but there's a lot of fun and a lot of anarchy to come, and so many great episodes we have planned. We're planning an ABBA one, which I'm very excited for, which we're going to be talking about 6 great metal covers of ABBA songs.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Eckerfeld would approve. He would approve.
Yes.
He would approve.
But
I love it.
I don't know, there's a lot of potentials with the podcast to go, a lot of episode and series that we still haven't talked about yet, and just the big thing for me is slowly starting to introduce more guests and bringing
Yes.
them into the Y belt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like-
get their hot takes.
Yes, like Val, you should come on Y belt.
I'm down. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do a pod swap. I'm happy to do return the favor. Absolutely.
Awesome. We would
Fuck
love
yeah.
to have you on like before the end of the year, hopefully. Maybe for our November Y belt, you can join us.
Ooh, yeah.
Sure. We'll do it. I'm
Hey.
excited.
Awesome.
I am excited for all of that. I can't wait for more to come. Gentlemen, thank you
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you.
me. We have bullshit like for almost 2 hours now because it's been that
Yes.
much fun. It's been that much fun. So thank you so
Yes.
much for being here. We'll see you around. I'm going to link everything to follow you. You guys are all over socials. We know you're on
Yes.
Spotify for sure. So we'll send all the links in the show notes. Go check them out.
Yes.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for having us.